of the 24th Regiment Combat Association. And this is Darrel Nash. Darrel's our historian. And Darrel, could you give us a little information on what led up to you becoming the historian for the group?
It's a passion of mine that I took upon myself. It's a story that needs to be told. When I was in the Army and everything else, I had a young NCO, non-commissioned officer, that put me one side and started telling about the history of what color troops they did for this country. And the interesting thing about it is that I was talking about the Buffalo Soldiers, and particularly the 24th Infantry Regiment, which that's my baby. The incredible history that they established starting November the 1st, 1869. And as you can look closer here with the Buffalo Soldiers, you can see the Union Crest right here. And that's the 24th. And of course, you know, they all called Buffalo Soldiers. We had two cavalry units, the 9th and 10th Cavalry, and the two colored infantry, the 24th and 25th Infantry. The name Buffalo Soldiers, of course, was given to us by the Native Americans. There was a lot of speculation. They said why we get that name, everything else, because at first it was kind of an insult to call a Buffalo Soldier. But then again, with time, it came a sense of courage and a bravery, you know, all of those wonderful things. And it's just a remarkable story that I started getting into, and I started liking it, and led from one thing to another. And I volunteered to be the historian for the 24th Infantry Regiment. And I want to clear that up. There's been some misunderstandings there. People like to confuse the 24th Infantry Regiment with the 24th Infantry Division. There are two different entities. One's a regiment, one's a division. But the 25th Infantry Regiment and the 25th Infantry Division. There are two different organizations, so I want to clear it up off the bat.
Very good. And Darrel, we're so happy to have you as our historian.
Thank you.
Because you're doing a fantastic job.
I try to be.
We really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Now, I wonder if you could go into a little bit of the history, explaining this San Juan Hill.
Yes. The United States was starting to branch out and become a world power. It was very important under different leadership and everything else. We branched out at that time, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Guam, Philippines Island, all belonged to Spain. And at that time we took on Spain, the nation of Spain, and we defeated them and we seized all of their colonies. Of course, Cuba being one of them, San Juan, correction, not San Juan, but Puerto Rico, and Guam and the Philippines Island. And speaking of San Juan, I want to make sure this is clear and understood. This is not San Juan, Puerto Rico. This is San Juan Hills in Cuba. That's the difference. So people say, you know, San Juan, in Cuba, in Puerto Rico? No, different place, different situation. So what happened, we took off, the 24th at that time was at Fort Douglas, Utah. And they got the word they were going into combat. They were quite excited. And it was so unique. The town showed up. Came out in force. White Americans came out to give the color boys a nice send-off. I mean, it was a great one. They got down to Florida, Tampa Heights. That's where all kind of collected together and everything. The other 24th and all the other colored units, the 9th and 10th Cavalry, 24th, of course, and the 25th, all came together in that location. The 24th went across on the steamship Washington to go to Cuba and everything. And when we got there, we started taking care of business. The weaponry we took to Cuba was not the same quality that the Cubans had when they fought against us. When we would fire our weapons, it gave off smoke, which gave the location where we were firing from. They had smokeless powder when they fired their guns, and we could not find them. We had to get closer and closer, and that's kind of dangerous. So we were able to get into a situation to kind of rectify that, but the main thing with San Juan Hill was that there was a misunderstanding because Teddy Roosevelt was given credit for taking San Juan Hill.
Right, the Rough Riders.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, say a little bit about that, okay?
Well, the Rough Riders was formed, basically they were called the 71st New York Volunteers. And they came from about 12 different countries. They had a bunch of rich guys with them, which they did rich kids with them. Educated kids were with them as well. Cowboys, all walks of life, they hit them with the Rough Riders. As far as I knew, there were no colored troops with them. They were just, you know, all guys by themselves. And Teddy Roosevelt was in charge of them. And one guy had told me a story that he said, they had told Teddy Roosevelt that you're going to command troops, you got to talk loud so they can hear you in combat. And because when the bullets are flying and men are shouting and everything, they got to hear your voice to follow you. And for him to get experience, he will go out.
Okay, we at the 5 minutes mark.
Okay,
Let's take a little short
Okay.
stop here.